Hello, friends and sewing family. Welcome back to Creating Hanley. I am the Hanley at Creating Hanley, and I'm gonna set this camera down. Hi. So, I just showed you that little portion right there was the parts, all the parts that I cut to make this, to finish this cat windowsill bedding bed pad for. Oh my! Not for this cat. For another cat, for one of my pet sitting clients' cats. She's a kitten, but she's about as big as this girl right here. She's a Maine Coon kitten, and she's very rambunctious, and the owners have a video camera in the room, and they can see when she drops her. She just has like a fleece, just a fleece piece of fabric on this homemade windowsill cat perch, and the owner can see through the camera when it falls off. And so she tells me, hey, can you go over there? And well, not all the time, and I'm just not going to drop what I do and just go over there, but she says, the next time you're over there, can you make sure that you put that back on, that little fleece pad back onto the windowsill perch? Like I wouldn't. If I see it off, of course I'm going to put it back in place. Of course. Anyway, she has to tell me to do it specifically, so. But this is Sabrina. And she says hello, and she doesn't really care about the camera. She just wants to hug me. But we cannot let her on this project, so we're going to put her down. But anyway, in the beginning of this video, you saw the parts. So, I squared up these three cats. So in part one, you saw me make these. You saw all the mistakes and everything that I made, and you saw me make these. Well, you saw me do one sample, and I already had two made. But I squared these up to 9 inches. So I squared them up to 9 inches. So they are 9 inches. All three of them are 9 inches now. And I know the cat perch dimensions are 11 inches by 30. They're 11 by 30, or it is 11 by 30. And these are 9. So 9 times 3 is 27. So I need to come up with 3 more inches, right? So I'm going to put a little teeny tiny sash in between each cat. So this will come out to be a 1/2 inch sash in between each cat. And then I'm going to I cut these with the fabric, just black with the fabric. Salvage end, of course. Salvage end to salvage end with the fabric, 1.5 inches. So this will go all the way around. Hopefully that'll be enough. I cut this backing, this fleece backing, to 14 inches by 33 inches. 14 inches by 33, which makes it 3 inches bigger all the way around. So the idea behind that is to have a little bit of this show on the front too. So this is actually going to be the border. It should create a border if I do it right. If I do it correctly, it should create a border, and I'll show you how I do that. Hopefully I won't screw it up. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. Anyway, you can probably see this fabric in the background here. Normally I have I just have it a mess back there, and it's a mirror. It's a mirror, and I have like things taped to the mirror, and then I have like projects all along, UFOs and unfinished projects all along the dresser here, and then I have I have projects in the making. I have project ideas. I have whatever. So anyway, I just thought I would cover that up because it may be a distraction. So I did that, and I don't know if the cats are more of a distraction. I don't know. Guys, it's been one of those days. Can you tell? Ah, my shirt. Namaste. 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 I was supposed to teach yoga tonight, and the entire class canceled. The students canceled. One by one, they kept texting me. Yeah, we're not going to make it tonight. Okay. We'll be there next week. But I am thankful that they texted me to let me know. So, no class. So, I have to just do yoga on my own. Hey, that's an idea. This Creating Hanley website, channel, is not just about sewing, by the way. Although it's winter and this is all I am able to do right now. But, you know, when the weather gets nicer, I would like to take some of this video time and show you the painting projects that I do. I refinish furniture, so hopefully if it's nice outside, I can get, outside and do some furniture refinishing and painting furniture and such. So that's something else that I want to do. And then as far as the yoga goes, I was thinking of doing a Patreon page, and members get exclusive viewing, I guess it's called, exclusive viewing to yoga video, and then they can, have a private yoga practice. I don't know. It's just a thought. Anyway, let's go back to the sewing. Okay. So, in some effort to save time, although it's been 7 minutes, I've been rambling on already. In some effort to save time, I did try to pre-cut this fabric. So I told you that I squared this up to 9 inches, and I made my sashing, and I made the sashing around. I also made these tie downs. So I made 2 of them, but if you cut them in half and then sew them onto each end, hopefully that's enough. Hopefully I don't need one in the middle. Although, now I think about it, I probably should have done that. But too late. I'm not going to do it now. So what I did to make this is I took a width and a half, or an inch and a half width of fabric. So the full width of fabric, an inch and a half wide. I folded it in half. I know I always have black on, and then you can't ever see anything. So I folded this in half, and then that created a crease, and I ironed it, and that created a crease on which you fold each half in half. So you fold the raw edge into the middle, and then you fold it in. She brought me a toy. She wants me to play. Sabrina B! Anyway, do you know what I'm saying? You fold it in half, and that creates a crease in the center. And then you fold each raw edge into the center, like so. And then you fold that part in half. And that creates this right here. And then you just sew along that open edge and sew it all the way down. So that's what you do here. You just sew along. Can you even see it? Maybe if I untwist it. So you sew along that edge, and then it's all held together. And then the ends, I just folded it once, fold it twice, and then sewed it up just like a X and then a square around. So an X and then a square around. Do you know what I'm saying? You can tell I'm struggling with words today. It's been a really weird day. It hasn't actually been that weird. It's the energy's off. I don't know. Something's wrong. I think it's with one of my jobs. It's just the energy's just. Somebody got let go today, and it was just. I'm hot. Sorry, Sabrina. Let's get through this. I can't even get through. It's 10 minutes already. I'm hot. Sorry, guys. Okay. This might be a 3-part project today, actually. Oh, these are friends of mine. I just saw it in the camera there. The Leaning Cast Brewing Company. Hey guys. Shout out to you guys. I'm not sponsoring them or anything. They're not sponsoring me or anything. It's just I was going to wear this shirt to do yoga in, and I'm not changing. So, not again today. Anyway, what am I doing here? So, okay, so this little cat is gonna. I'm flipping the camera down. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. So this little cat. And this little cat goes together. And then I'm gonna sew this on here. So I'm sewing this on first. Sewing down this edge. I might need a leader because this is pretty tiny, so just to be safe. Okay, so here we go. Get everything in order. Can you see that? I hope so. Alright, here we go. Got my leader in place. Quarter-inch seam allowance. Make sure the cat seams are all flipped the correct direction in the back. And because I like to work with flat fabric, I'm going to iron this. You do not need to iron it. I am. This is almost not even going to be shown. Wow. Alright. You might not even be able to see that once I sew it. Maybe that was a very generous quarter-inch seam allowance. I may have made a very generous quarter-inch seam allowance. I don't know. Okay. So now I'm going to sew this edge. So the right sides of this, can you see that? The right side of this to the right side of this. So I'm going to flip it around to your way. So the cats are going in the same direction. And I'm going to attach this to this. So I want, it doesn't matter which way you do it, this on top of this. Now, as you can see, this is tight. Let me show you this way. Now, if you want to throw a pin in or two, feel free. Go right ahead. And actually, I am going to do that. I don't normally, but this is such precision that I'm going to want to do this. So, you can open this edge up and pin this little sashing down because it is little. It's narrow. Very narrow. So make sure it's precise. And that you do not want to get this part. Okay? So you want to make sure this seam stays out of the way. So it's only this part. So I'm taking extra time to make sure the seams are aligned because I squared up everything at 9 inches. Everything should be, that's the operative word, it should be in the right place. Okay. Alright guys, here goes nothing. I'm stopping it, just rechecking. that my edges line up. Try and hold it down in place. Now let's see what happened here. Yeah, look at that. Right there, that is narrow. That is tiny. All right. Now I'm going to iron this. Normally, you guys, I would want this to go in the center. You can't even see that. Of course you can't. I would really want this to be in the center, but that's not going to happen. So I am doing it. Opening the seams up. Okay, and then when I quilt the top, I can top stitch down here, which means this. Well, you could probably see it better this way. Top stitch down here. Okay. All right, I'm going to do that one more time. So adding the second cap, but first I want to add here it is. Couldn't find it. First I want to add this sashing to this part, to this cap. All right. Now that's on there. Of course, you know I like to work with a flat surface, so I'm ironing that down. And then we add the other cap. Make sure I put it on the right direction. This is correct. Now, because this is so narrow in the back, I am definitely going to flip this over. That means this tail is kind of on the top, and it's a little bit long and bulky. Again, be precise with your measurements here with lining up these raw edges. And if you need to throw in a pin or two, then throw in a pin or two. Okay. And again, make sure this part doesn't get all caught up in the seam. Okay, here we go. Okay, now my seam allowances were a little bit different on this one. This was very narrow and this one's a little bit bigger. I don't like that. So the way you can correct that is by just sewing a bigger seam allowance on here. So you can tell, like on this side I sewed a bigger seam allowance than I did on here. So I'm going to go back over that line again. Same black side, same dark side, and then here we go. Okay, that's more narrow now. It's not the same as this. It's more narrow, but it's not. It's still a little bit bigger than this one is. This one is just shy of a 1/4 inch, and this one is definitely right on, spot on, a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. So this one I took generous 1/4 inch seams on both sides. And, you know, if I really was particular about it, I would pick out this seam and resew it, but I'm not. It's for a cat, and the people don't even know I'm doing this. Nobody asked me to do it. I'm just doing it. So I thought it would be a cool project to do with you guys, and I thought it would just be a cool project to do in general. So I'm doing it. And plus, I wanted to just make a cat. I just kind of had this, like, I don't know, drive to sew one of these cats. And I do have another cat video in my brain that I want to do, so stick around. I'll do another cat video. Now, this top sashing, and let's see. Yeah, let's do the top sashing first. Should I? Okay. I'm just going to do the top sashing first. So, this part here is the salvage edge. I don't really want to use that. So, I want to put right sides down. But remember, on these longer fabric, on these, oh, excuse me. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I just shouldn't even be talking right now. On these longer fabrics, there is no right and wrong side. Basically, the fabric is the fabric, so whatever works for you. All right, let's get it off. My craziness. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this edge so you can kind of see right here. It's just a long trail. I'm just going to cut it right here. Not being precise, because I'll trim it up in a little bit. Alright, now this one you can, if you want to stick some pins in here too. I'm just going to line it up as I go. Okay, 1/4 inch seam allowance. That is not a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's getting a little wonky. Alright. I might have to stop it here, guys. This video is getting too long. And I will do part 3 in a little bit. I think I need to just take a break for a minute. Alright, something's not working right here. What's the deal? Okay, I am going to stick some pins in here. Just things don't seem a little right. The energy's off, guys. When the energy's off, it's just not cool. Sewing is sanctuary for many people, especially if you're here watching me. Sewing is sanctuary, right? Like, your sewing room is where you go to chill. If the energy's off, it just doesn't feel right. And remember, you want to make sure your seams underneath are flipped the correct way. And then also be careful of stretching the fabric. I just kind of pat it to get the seams to go in the right direction. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't work, you just have to stop the machine and then just set it. I'm going to slow this speed down a little bit here. Alright. So, and then you flip it up. Okay. And then iron it. And then do all 4 sides, just like that. Okay? So, put your border on, or your sashing. Your top, side, and I guess it would be a border. Your top, side, and bottom border, both sides. And then when you do the sides, now you can do the sides first and then the top and bottom, or you can do the top and bottom and then the sides. Now remember, if you pre-cut and you get the order mixed up, don't do that. So if you pre-cut, make sure that you include, so this would be trimmed off, and so if you're doing the sides last, this is not going to be 9 inches now. You have to add 1.5 inches up here and 1.5 inches down here if you're using 1.5 inches wide border, okay? So remember, don't forget this part up here. So if you pre-cut and then forget to include this, you see that's going to be a problem. There's going to be a hole right there, okay? So make sure that you include, or actually this would still be, you include extra fabric, okay? Alright guys, I'm going to call it quits right now. I'm going to finish doing this and then I will prepare. The fleece is already cut and I have the ties done already. I showed you that in the beginning, and then I have the fleece cut already. But I think I don't just want like fleece and this. I think I do want to put it in a batting. So I believe I'm going to use a fusible batting, and then I can iron that to here. I will iron it to the back side, and then quilt it. So quilting, that's it guys. Quilting, and so the fusible batting, the quilting, and everything put together will be the last video. Alright, I'm sorry this energy's off guys, but do your sashing, do the border, and then I will put out a new video for you, okay? Alright, anyway, you guys have a great day sewing. I will be back with more soon. Bye!